Hey there everybody, Joe here. Thanks for watching again. I've got a lot of unfinished art projects that I really need to wrap up. And so I've got like 4 things that I've got to get to. And so I'm just gonna document along the way. So this church, that's where I am, is at my church. They're gracious to let me use the space for my studio and to do lots of projects. I do art classes in here on Thursdays. So that's a mural that a lot of you have probably seen. So the first thing I've got on my agenda today, I've got a backdrop that I need to finish for a group here in town that performs, what do you call it? You know, they do plays. What's a more sophisticated word for a play? You know, theater. You know, there's a theater group. And they're doing Seussical the musical. I'm going down into a basement, so it's real dark. Let's turn on some lights. And so this is the backdrop. Right here, I'm gonna put the camera as high as I can so you can look there. I mean, this is like 15 feet by 20 feet. I don't know, it's really big. And it's on this big curtain tarp kind of a thing that someone gave me. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do the backdrop on that, and then I'll figure out a way to hang it. So I've got to figure out a way to hang this thing, and I'm gonna be doing some final touches. You know, the kids, I did this with a group of kids. That's my Thursday art class. They painted like 90% of this. Most of this is their work, and I was in charge of, you know, these are the kind of colors that you want to put here. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna put these kinds of colors and make these things. So now it's my turn to come in and do, I'm the detail guy. That's what I'm gonna do now. Do my finishing touches on this. Jungle of Newell is what it is, the Jungle of Newell in the play. I've never seen Seussical the musical, but there's a jungle in there. It looks amazing. They did a fantastic job. Look at that thing. I love how just a little bit of edges on a picture makes a huge difference. Just defining some edges, putting a little bit of a gray backlight. This was something that I had the kids do right here, putting gray. See this tree over here, the gray outline. I literally just told them here, take this gray, black and white, mix it up, just outline the tree with it. And gray just is a good edge color for objects to create the effect of just background light reflecting off of a surface. And gray, because when colors combine, they lose color. When colors combine, you get gray or white. And so it's chances are, whatever colors are combining, it's gonna be a lot of different colors, making some shade of gray when you have edge lighting in a big colorful jungle. So now I need to go upstairs and start the next project. And I'm working on a proposal, you know, just a concept, a rendering for a potential job, like a mural that would be a story of Jesus' birth, death, and resurrection for this big wall in a home. I always have to be inventing something or making something, you know. This pour over, the welding broke on it, and I was like, oh man, how am I gonna use that now? I had a platform on the bottom. You put it on your mug, you pour the coffee in the top. So I just took this wire and bent it into this spirally shape and put a triangle on the bottom, you know, because a tripod doesn't wobble. So 3 points of contact, and you just put this guy inside of there, and then it sits on here real nice like, and it even has this fun little illusion of being suspended in the air when it's sitting there on top of my mug. So that's my pour over. I love pour overs. I just probably like coffee a little too much. Okay, now I filled it too full, especially for someone with shaky hands. It's a significant part of my day is the coffee breaks. I need to figure out what kind of a scene I can put together on a wall that has a diagonal base to it, and I'm going to slope this line because it's a staircase. Posture is first, and I've found that in making a picture, you know, knowing all the parts of a body is very important. But then after you know the parts, you need to have the posture to fit the parts onto. So I've got shoulders. This shoulder's higher than this shoulder because I want to be looking up at him and then I want them to be turned a little to the side. And I'm going to put them in somewhat of a superhero stance. I think an important thing is how it says that people came and worshiped him, like bowed down and worshiped him. So I'm just going to put people bowing down, and then I'm going to put mom holding the baby. Big cross. Boom, right behind him here. I think this will also be a nice effect. Okay, let's put a disturbed looking face on here. And then we just need a brutal looking soldier back here. I'm gonna put a whip in his arm. We'll just put eyebrows kind of angled up. Isn't that amazing? You can put tiny little dots, just a slight upward curve, and we see expression in that small of a space. Okay, birth, death, we need resurrection in here. It can just be an empty tomb, you know? We can just make a hole in a rock. It happened in the night. There were soldiers watching. If I remember right, they were really scared when because this happened when they were there. They're getting out of there though because something crazy's happening. Drawing a picture really helps me to wrap my head around what it's gonna cost and time. Now I've got clothing. We've got wrinkles, you know, and that's gonna take some time. That's light and shadow. We've got clothing, wrinkles, clothing. You know, this is a lot here. And so by the time I get all these people bowing down and making some kind of a commotion at this house, depending on the detail, you might spend a week doing a scene like that. But I think it can be done in a couple days. This would be faster. This would be faster than this. This is the hardest one on this page. No, this, definitely Jesus is the hardest portion because that's full detailed front view of a person. So I need to make sure I get good details in there. I think it'd be cool to put little, you know, this is all mural all the way up, and so it would be cool. I've got clouds in here. Just put the lightest shadows in here. I'm gonna not put those shadows right around them. If I put shadows, then I have something I can make glow. You know, I can make a glow around him as long as I have some little bit of darkness there. But I don't want to make his actual body glowing. That won't be good. People don't look good when they're glowing. I think it'd be cool if you could see just a little bit of like a heavenly kingdom up in here. Which I have no idea what such a thing would look like. But it's fun to imagine. So we'll just put some little shapes. A little bit of geometry. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be a cool picture to have on a wall. I'll let you know if I get that job. The next thing I have to do before I go home and work on my Harry Potter painting, check emails and look at some YouTube comments. Last video, painting with glow-in-the-dark paints. I love it. It's like 2 paintings in 1 from dusk till dawn. All right, cool. Thank you very much, Melanie. A lot of comments about playing with the UV light. That was a lot of fun. You know, that was an unexpected surprise as I was progressing on that project. Makes me think of the scene in Moana in the spirit world. Oh, maybe I need to watch Moana to see what in the world that is. But thank you. When you say colored pencil, do you actually mean pastel pencil? Usually colored pencils use wax or oil as a binder. All I know is that it was in a bag that I got from Goodwill because there was this big bag of colored pencils and I like shopping thrift stores. I went in there and I thought, hey, I need to make a video of doing some color over the top of my glow-in-the-dark painting. That's a good thing to buy. That's where it came from, just a random bag of colored pencils, and it said Crayola. And so I don't think that a common Crayola colored pencil is anything special. So yeah, maybe it is waxy, but I just added water to it. OMG, I'm imagining a gallery show with a bunch of white paintings. Hey, thank you, Julie. I think that is a good idea. It would be like an interactive show. People who are coming and looking at the paintings could have little flashlights and play with the pictures. Wouldn't that be fun? Thanks for this video, says K 10 mil. I was seriously thinking of using that medium. One question though, any problems adding textured additives? Anything you add to glow in the dark paint gets in the way of the phosphor absorbing the light and emitting it. It gets in the way. It creates little microscopic shadows in there. So you kill the glow. The more, if you adding anything to it, diminishes the glow. So it's up to you what you want to experiment with. But it's brand new for me, so I'm not by a long shot the expert on glow in the dark paint. All I know is that it really, really glowed. All right, it's time to go home and work on Harry Potter. We put up this fence last year, and so we changed our mind along the way. You know, as the property owner said, "Oh, can you actually just do it stain grade instead of white?" And so this is where I started this white, and I keep saying I'm gonna come out here and just faux paint it like wood. And you know, a year has gone by, so I've got to get that spot. There's that white spot behind the tree over there. It still needs to be painted to match the rest of the fence. And it just seems like everywhere I turn, there's an unfinished project staring me in the face. Time to change my ways. So Harry Potter here needs some work. I'm starting to be very pleased with the way it is. So I just got a few details. I've been putting bigger trees in the forest because I saw on pictures, I was like, wait a minute, the people are much smaller than the trees, and I've got trees up close. So I had the trees kind of tiny in comparison with the stadium and the people. But you know, I'm really happy with it. I like the way it's coming together. Got to detail out the broom, the pants, but these are small things. The face, man. If I don't have the face, I don't have the picture. I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but I know it's like this for me. There's some weird adjustment that happens to my mind the longer I look at a face. You know, if I've just been staring at that one face for so long, I cease to see anything that looks abnormal about it. It's like my brain adjusts it. Kind of like, you know, if you wear glasses and you put new glasses on and your eyes are kind of scrambled at first, if it kind of changes angles or looks distorted, but they adjust. And I feel like that happens when I'm staring at a face. It auto adjusts everything that looks kind of weird about it. And I don't want that to happen. It works against me. It's like my imagination sees what it wants to see. So looking at it right now, I can see tiny things that I want to adjust about that face. The forehead looks, because of the sudden difference between the light and the shadow, the forehead looks a little bit too rounded. I want it to look softer, more of a gradual turn. And this shadow here is maybe not doing its job of looking like a surface that's going back. I really need, the skull shape is very important. The skull, the forehead to the cheekbones to the chin. And these soft gradients I'm finding to be very important. Even though they're blurry lines, the location of those blurry lines defines this shape, and the shape really defines his face. So I have toyed with this and toyed with this, and just very gradually tried to get it to where it looks the best, moving the shadows around just slightly. I'll move them around and think, oh yeah, that looks right. Then I come in a couple hours later, I look at it, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? The face looks crooked now. It's been hard, but I'm starting to be very pleased. I appreciate you watching my video and coming along for the ride. It's always a privilege for me to show off for you, and I hope that you'll tune in on the next video when I can present this finished painting. As you can see, it's almost done. So I'm gonna keep working on it through the week and get it up on the next video. If you haven't already subscribed, then I would be so happy if you would do me the honor of subscribing to my channel. I'll see you next time.